first decided to take art because it was a requirement for high school graduation. However, I never thought I was going to be interested in the class anyway, but little did I know I would come to love it. Throughout those 4 years, the class didn't even feel like a class. That is when I knew there was something about painting and drawing that really connected to me. That is why today I will focus mostly on two-dimensional art, which is something all of us have seen before. Art is unique because it is subjective. Overall, art has limitless functions, but today I'll be discussing some of the less obvious ones. I believe you can create art to express emotions, inform others about significant events, and perform self-introspection. Personally, it's hard for me to communicate my ideas verbally, so when I create artwork, I can reveal my thoughts, beliefs, and values in a way that's much easier. Furthermore, the research I conducted in my art class revealed this idea among famous artists. Art helps people express and deal with their emotions, concepts, and ideas that are hard for us to convey with words. For example, artist Hans Holbein was attracted to creating art that evoked religious ideals and went further to create the dead Christ in the tomb. According to an article called Hans the Younger Holbein, Jesus was painted in a skeletal way with wounds and with his eyes rolled up to remind the audience that death is bound to happen. As a result, this specific creation by Holbein caused a decrease in Christian faith. Additionally, Cunningham, Lawrence, Wright, and Rathus wrote a book called Culture and Values that was published on February 15, 2014, and it states that artists during the Rococo art era sought an escape from reality, and they felt that detailed and dramatic artwork would help protect them from it. It paved the way for psychological uplifting through the creation of fantasies. In general, the artwork captures some of the most romantic moments that help people find pleasure. Aside from expressing deeper meaning and thoughts, traditional artwork has brought many world issues to our eyes. For example, Conde Wiley incorporated African American figures in his artwork in order to appeal to a minority. It's as if he wishes to ease a hostile racial condition of the United States that still seems to be an issue today. In Mary Comforter the Afflicted One is a stained glass window piece that Wiley created in 2016. It shows Mary still carrying her deceased child, but now the child is created as an African American. It is obvious that Wiley's ultimate goal was to represent African Americans as elite members of society. Also, neoclassicists emerged during the beginning of the French Revolution to evoke a sense of emergency among French citizens. Further explanation is provided in the book Understanding Art, written in 1986 by Louis Fitch-Rathus. It says that during the aftermath of the French Revolution, a lot of civilians experienced a decline in moral standards. So a lot of the artwork during that time period sought to restore those moral standards. The two purposes I've discussed so far deal with delivering a message or concept to the public. However, art also affects the artist directly. Art allows individuals to discover their real self. The types of artwork produced during the neoclassical era inspired a new development of thought that focused on individuals in a unique way. This idea is elaborated on in an article called Neoclassicism, an introduction written by the director of the New York Arts Exchange, Dr. Beth Gershnazik, in 2014. Essentially, it says that artists should be painted to show individuals that they could determine their own destiny and that it could be controlled. Neoclassicism grew in popularity because it proved to be very encouraging to individuals who were struggling to identify themselves. Similarly, Conde Wiley's work is popular now because he brought back the focus on individuals. Despite hostile conditions, he wants his viewers to know that they can find their own way to destiny and that no matter what others said, they can't be inferior if they determine their own fate. Ideological and emotional expression, along with the acknowledgement of issues and self-reflection, are elements that make art very much appreciated today. There's not a correct way to describe what art is and why it exists, and it's up to each individual to cultivate their own ideas about it. The connection I felt with art after just 1 year class was the result of inspiration. I discovered the deeper aspects of art and finally understood why people took an interest in it. It was because you can make it anything you want it to be. It is now my passion because it is an escape from reality where anyone can be original and unrestricted.